Hello, beloved. It's me, Coach Carmen. Welcome to Wellness Kitchen Wednesday. We're in the kitchen today because we're going to be making strawberry muffins because I want to make them raw, vegan, because that's where I'm at right now. And I'll put on these glasses because they match better. Yes. There you go. All right. Okay, so this is going to be amazing. This is kind of new. I never made them like this before. I never made raw vegan muffins with the fruit before like this. So it's going to be new. So we're going to try it together. We're going to put this together. So we have strawberries. These strawberries were frozen, hard, rock hard, solid, frozen. And you know, one thing about strawberries, they are very hard when they're frozen. You can't throw them in the blender, even if it's a high-speed blender, because they will break up your blender. If you put them at the bottom, you have to soften them up a little bit. So what I do, and they're just starting to get juicy. See if you can see. See that? You can see the juice. So what I do is I put them in the oven for about 5 minutes at 375 and leave them in the oven in a Pyrex like this for like 5 minutes. And what happens is, it's amazing. They start to soften up. And when they soften up, there's still some frozenness here and there. You can feel it. That's okay. They'll start to soften up. Leave them on the side and just let them release their juices. And that's always awesome. And then what you can do is just start to cut them in little pieces. They don't have to be that little, but you don't want these big chunky, super chunky pieces in your muffins, so you want to cut them up some, right? So we're going to slice these up, dice them up. And this could be blueberries, which is why, believe it or not, I prefer the frozen fruit, because this technique of defrosting the fruit really does give you a nice juicy result, which is nice when you want to make some kind of pie or something, a dessert, some juice showing. That's always pretty. You can also take this and just place it in the food processor and let it go for a couple of pulses. Have you ever had raw vegan muffins before? It's amazing what you can make raw vegan. And you know, our next detox is coming up. We only have a few this year. The next one's coming up, and it's going to be awesome. Get your body ready for the summer. That's right. And get your mind ready for the summer. Get your mind ready for life. Get your mind ready for the blessings, for miracles, for protection, for grace, for ease, for healing of the soul. All of that, y'all. All of that. Seriously, the detox is everything. And if you've never done the 28-day body and soul detox, just the fact that you're here listening, you came on and you hear me say this, means that God wants you to do a detox. That's because everybody needs to do the detox. That is spilled over there. Taste it. Nice. Pretty sweet. So here's the thing. You can basically use any type of nut flour. You can mix your nut flours. The main thing is you just want to have enough of it to make the amount of muffins that you want to prepare. So right here, I have raw almond flour, which is great for raw vegan desserts and recipes. So basically, this is replacing the regular flour. It's a 2-cup measuring cup. We have 2 cups. And I'm kind of winging it as I go through this process, as I said, because I haven't made them like this before. But this is good because I want you to see that this is doable. You can play around with things. If you understand the basic way raw food works and the way the ingredients come together when you're preparing, especially if you're preparing a dessert, it's almost foolproof. It really is. It's amazing. And I want to show you this. I want to prove this to you by just winging this in a way. Now, my buckwheat cereal. This is homemade buckwheat cereal that I make. It's absolutely, oh, this is so good. I have this like just about every morning. So I like to make sure that I make it up. And it usually lasts about 2 weeks because the buckwheat is dehydrated. So it's going to last a long time. And I'm going to show you this recipe probably next month because this is a must-have recipe to be able to have your own cereal, to make your own cold cereal. You can use the nut milk, and I throw in 2 handfuls of blueberries because the blueberries are so good for your brain. So many benefits, but I'm most excited about the fact that the blueberries support your brain function. So that's why I like to throw like 2 handfuls of blueberries in my bowl of buckwheat cereal. But this, I mentioned this to you before, but this has lots of different goodies in here, like the sprouted seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. I have white mulberries that are dried in here, and some raisins that's been chopped up. It's awesome. So what I'm doing actually is I'm taking some of the cereal and I'm actually going to break it up in the food processor. So you can process this as fine as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be like super fine. I think this is good. This looks like it's about probably less than half a cup. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. 3/4 of a cup. Dump that in there. Now this particular almond flour is trying to see how fine it is. I think it can be a little finer. It looks very coarse. Not very coarse, but it looks kind of coarse. So I'm going to put that back in there. Put that in there and let's process. I just want it to have a little more air, to be a little fluffier, so it's not so dense. Okay, so we have like 3/4 cups of the buckwheat. Now, like I said, I used my buckwheat cereal that I created, but you could just soak your buckwheats, let them sprout, and use buckwheat like that. Or you don't have to use the buckwheat. That's what's so great about these recipes. They're very, very versatile. You're not stuck having to follow verbatim. Not at all. All right, so these are the sprouted oats. So I'm going to take the sprouted oats and I'm going to actually blend them up and turn them into a flour. And I'm going to add the oats into this muffin flour mixture. So let's go with 1.5 cups. Right. So now I'm just using a NutriBullet. I know everybody has a NutriBullet. Like, really, who doesn't have a NutriBullet? It's like, there's a lot going on up there. I'm telling you, like I said, I'm winging this a little bit because it's being winged. I don't have everything right in front of me, but I think I pretty much have most of everything I need. So oat flour. Haha. Coach Denise, let me see. It says Coach. Move this thing over to see who is here. Good afternoon. What am I making? Oh, I'm making raw vegan strawberry muffins. Yes. And being that we're going to be podcasting, shooting our podcast on Sunday, you're going to get to taste them. Yeah. So now what I'm doing is basically just mixing up the flours, all the flours, right? See, just mixing them up. And again, like I said, you can use spelt flour, you can use coconut flour, you can use whatever flour you want, as long as it's a flour that you can take in your mouth and eat it, and you'll be okay. Like, we're not using self-rising flour, we're not using wheat flour, we're not using the flours that are not healthy. These are made with nuts and grains and awesome healthy stuff. So they fit in the raw vegan category. Let's move this out of the way. So the other dry ingredients we're going to incorporate are sea salt. Always have to add the sea salt. So this is about half a teaspoon sea salt. I'm going to add some of my cinnamon. So I would say half a teaspoon of cinnamon, or if you're like Coach Shanice, I know she loves cinnamon, so you may want to add more cinnamon than that. And that's pretty much all the dry ingredients, really. Okay, so now we're going to start incorporating the wet ingredients. Let's start with coconut oil. So I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use a tablespoon of coconut oil. Of course, this is organic, it's cold pressed, unrefined, extra virgin, extra virgin version. All right, so we're going to put that in there. Then we're going to use my vanilla stevia sweet drops. Add some of that in there, and I'm going to add, I didn't want to, because I'm trying to really go as low glycemic as possible, but this is organic maple. So I'm going to add some organic maple. So I would say probably a quarter of a cup. We'll see. Because we're not adding any milk, anything like that to moisten it. So we want to have the ingredients that are going to be sweetening the muffins also be the thing that's going to make it so that it's pliable. So I'm going to add a little more, make that a full quarter of a cup. Yeah, of the muffins. And I'm going to mix that in nicely. Yay! She said yay, she can't wait. I know. I'm going to have some tea, a nice cup of tea, Coach Denise. Our reward for shooting on 2 podcasts. Yes, it's going to be nice. So I'm mixing this up. And then, once I get it to a certain point, which may be like this, we'll see. Then I'm going to start to add the strawberries. Oh, look at those strawberries. Look at those strawberries. mix the strawberries up in there. Oh boy, they smell amazing. Mmm, they smell so good. And I think I have enough of the coconut oil. I hope so. Let's see. So now I'm going to have to put on my gloves because I'm one of those people that I don't like mixing things with my hands. Now, we have in week 3, we have the week 3 being the raw vegan week. And so it's so awesome just to know that you can have such a variety of food during raw vegan week. I mean, like, you don't have to miss anything. So I'm going to come back like I did last week. I'm going to come back after these have been dehydrating for like 12 hours in the dehydrator. And I'll show you what it looks like. I'll give you a taste test and all of that. Right now, I just want to make sure I incorporate the strawberries in every bite of muffin. See what I'm doing there? You see that? So you're not like being hardcore with this. You want to gently, with a loving touch, with a gentle touch, with a slow hand, and an easy touch. Make sure it understands that you want to make it nice and easy. Coach Anise, are you laughing? That was funny though, wasn't it? Oh. So this is what I got right here. You see that? Yeah. So there's some stuff underneath here I'm going to mix in because I don't want to leave anything. I'm going to make sure we got everything. Yep. Oh, yeah. So these beautiful little muffins that they're going to be are going to be such a nice treat when you want something sweet. Now, this is what you do, though. Because this is raw, there's no eggs in here, right? What I can do is I can taste this and make sure it's sweet enough, has enough salt. Oh, wow. This is definitely sweet enough. Wow. Woo! So I was wondering if I should use this pan, the standard pan, or my heart. I think I'm going to use, I'm afraid that this is going to be too big. Now, here's the issue I have. The issue I have is that I ran out of my paper lining. The other thing I'm missing my ice cream scooper, because you want to have an ice cream scooper to make them come out like nice shape, round, like a typical muffin. But here's the thing. So what if you have to use your hand to mold it? So my main concern would be the liners. We'll see what happens with that, because you may not have liners. And you may be saying, well, Coach Carmen, I don't have liners. Tell me how to make it. Tell me how it's going to look without the liners, right? All right, now, I think, should I put a little, just wondering if I should put a little bit of flour at the bottom, just to make sure they don't stick. All right, I'll put a little flour, just a little bit at the bottom. So I'm going to roll this up. And I think I need a little more. Roll it up. So let's see, this is about 2 inches. If I roll it up like this, I can drop it. Oops. I can drop it in there. Then I can shape it. And I want to shape it. How about that? See? It's just about being creative, a little ingenuity. And if you're like me, you know, you're like, everything has to be just right, but it doesn't have to be just right. Just be okay. It's up to you. Right? Okay. So we did like 2 inches, like that. We rolled it up. And you just want to get one area where it's nice and smooth because that's going to be your top. Right? And then we're going to just drop it in there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll pretty them all up at the same time. Because it's always best to, if you're on a roll with one thing, just stay on that roll. Do that one step all the way. All right, look at that. See? Then you drop it in there. Bam. That went in a little crooked. Just, you know, let me move this so that I'm doing no better. Shake that up a little bit. I'm going to shake that up. But let me do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to just grab them and mold them and then drop them in. Okay. Wow, this is going to be a biggie. It can't be that big. Oh, there's a lot of strawberries in these. Really? Wow, there's a lot of strawberries. It's pretty. Who's complaining? Like, really? I'm okay with it. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it. Yep. Drop. Oh. Let's see. That one. Oh, it still looks good. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. And you know what's so cool? They're not hot. They're raw vegan. Oh, you gotta love it. Like, what are we saying? We're saying that this food is giving you life. This food is nourishing to all of your cells. And look at that. I didn't even need the ice cream scooper. You know I'm going to be patting this a little more and more when I finish because I want it to look pretty. Okay, drop it like it's hot. Oh, shoot. So you got to drop it right, otherwise it's sideways. And, you know, once you make the recipe, like now I'm making the recipe pretty much for the first time. Now I'll know like how much flour I'm going to be using to fill the tray. That's okay. It's trial, but it's not error. You're learning. As long as you remember what you learned, you're good. So it's not a bad thing, right? All right. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the love. All right. So I'm just going to go around here. Give a little shapey shape. But basically, this is it. The muffins. Now, what I'll probably do is sprinkle some coconut on top because I got some coconut. So I could sprinkle some coconut just to give it a little eye candy. Yes. Oops. Okay. Remember, these are not going to be rising up. There's no leavening in here. This is just, it is what it is. So however you shape it, for the most part, is going to be what you're going to get at the end. Because this is not like baking. The fact that it isn't baking makes it so much easier. I mean, you saw what I did. It's just super easy. And you don't have to be so precise like when you're baking. Right? All right, so this is it. My loves, this is it. I'm going to come back in 12 hours. And we're going to check it out. Okay? Okay. Let me just close this out. She said, well, look at that. Yes, that's it. All right, so we'll see you in a little bit. I'm back. I'm back, beloved. As promised, I'm back with the strawberry muffins. Raw vegan, that is. That's right. So, these bad boys have been in the dehydrator for quite a while. And one of the reasons why they've been in the dehydrator for so long is because when I made them with a lot of strawberries. If you recall, when I was making the batter and everything, you could see the batter was very moist and I was able to roll it up in a ball. Some people, when they make muffins like this, they're very dry, but these were pretty soft. And the coconut oil definitely helped to make a big difference. I am so impressed. I want you to see how they turned out. Are you ready? All right. So the first thing I want to show you actually is how I prepared them for them to go into the dehydrator. If you remember, I actually put them in this muffin tin. This muffin tin was like maybe an inch too long, but I put it in there anyway, and the bottom of the dehydrator covering was a little open, but that was okay because most of it was closed. I was able to just turn it around, and then after a few hours, I would turn it around again to make sure that all the muffins were able to dehydrate properly. Now, remember, I did not have an ice cream scooper. So the next time I'm going to try it with the ice cream scooper, and they'll look prettier. And, you know, I like my food to look beautiful. And they don't look too bad, actually, considering I shaped them with my hands. And if you're okay with that, you're just making them for yourself, who cares? But I'm going to definitely get an ice cream scooper and use the ice cream scooper next time. The other thing I did not have was the paper cups. So the paper cups would have made them look prettier. So I am going to make them again with the paper cups. But what I did was they were in the dehydrator for about 10 to 12 hours. I was able, because I went to sleep and then I got up and said, oh my gosh, I don't want them to dry out. So let me take them out. And they definitely weren't ready. But I was able to take a butter knife and go around the edges and then scoop them out and shape them a little bit and put them on the Teflex sheet. The Teflex sheet is very important because it allows the air to flow through each of the muffins so that they dry completely. So you don't have them dry on the top and then the bottom where they're not exposed to the air being too soft or not done, right? So that's the process. That's important to know that process. Move this out of the way. And I'm going to taste these bad boys. Yes. Okay, so here they are. And as I said, they're not as aesthetically beautiful as I would have liked them to be, but they are muffins. Raw vegan muffins. Yes. So I'm going to break this one apart and show it to you. Can you see it? Let's turn this around a little more. I want you to see what they look like. Oh, yeah. This is what I'm talking about, people. This is what I'm talking about, my sisters. Oh, yes. Let's taste. Oh, you got to see me taste. Because it's not the same if you don't see me. See my expression. And I'm not going to be falsifying anything and pretending. I'm going to be real. Okay? I see the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. This is soul food. There's so much I love about this. All right, I get so excited because this is super healthy. This is like the bomb diggity dang dang because they're sweet, they're soft. Look how soft this is raw vegan. Hello, it looks like it was baked in the oven. Can you see? And then they have like they're nice and firm on the outside. And the strawberries, I put a lot of strawberries in here. That's why I had to dehydrate them so long because the strawberries took a while for them to, dry out a little bit. But it's still very soft, super soft. Oh, I gotta have a cup of tea. Gotta have a cup of tea, y'all. This is exciting. I can have raw vegan muffins. I think you would agree that they're pretty enough, right? So I'm going to be writing out the recipe and putting it in my email tomorrow. So I was supposed to do I did Sacred Self-Care Saturday. If you missed that, just did it. You can go into the business page and scroll down, you'll see it. That was awesome. We finished up the microbiome. Yeah, it was good. So tomorrow's email, I'm going to have this recipe. If you're not on my email list, very good on my email list. You can go to sharingthebliss.com/blog and get my free guide for the microbiome, and you'll be automatically put on my email. Okay. I'll make me some tea. I'm gonna make me some tea. This is like one of my favorite things. A nice, beautiful pastry and a cup of tea. And I couldn't have them because I had too much sugar. Like this. You saw I didn't put any sugar in there, but I put stuff to make it super sweet. Now watch the video if you want to know what I did. And the other thing is no white or wheat flour, no eggs, no butter. I did the coconut oil, no refined sugar. There you have it. All right, my loves. I hope you're excited. I hope you join the next detox coming up soon. Message me. All right. Make sure you give me your email address. Love you. Let's see. That's funny. Let's see what Coach Denise said. Oh, let's see what Coach Denise said. Please save me one. Oh, Coach Denise. I'm going to save you one. They look beautiful to me. They do? Oh, okay. Thank you. Coach Denise, I'm going to save you one. So when we do our podcast tomorrow, we'll both have one. Like I said, celebrate completing the 2 podcasts, the cup of tea. All right, my darling. All right, everyone. God bless you, my sisters. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.